Right, we're back with this stupid fucking show again. This is a disaster. Everything related to this fucking show is a goddamn disaster, and I am not going to say otherwise. It's bad. Look, I was in pain before we started. I have gone through the entirety of my collection over the last couple of days now. If you... Yes, I have in fact watched the MBT short. Everybody knows Aloof Lupine is hot. Yours truly. Regardless, I have looked into a couple of decks that I can kind of build that are very close to being playable. They're still far off, but they are better twists than Gate Guardian. We have a Melfi engine. Surprisingly, actually. Our level 2 stuff, even though we stopped building into level 2s very early, is still surprisingly good. We have access to basically every single Melfi available to us. Except for, I think, like, some of the spells. I only have Hide and Seek and Staring Contest. I don't have the other one. But other than that, like, our extra deck is looking pretty good for this. We do miss Hop Ear Squadron and the other one that can synchro whatever its name is. And we are missing a lot of sprites. We only have the basic ones we played with in the first couple of episodes. But... yeah, Penny. There's another card I'm thinking of, but I don't remember the name of it. Regardless, we are very close to being able to play a deck like this. We would have to dive the last couple of weeks into something that benefits this, but it's possible. On top of that, Altergeist is apparently an archetype we have a lot of cards of. We have every single main deck monster that we need. We need the traps. The traps, unfortunately, are supers in some weird fucking set somewhere, but it is possible. Then we also have Naturias. Surprisingly, yeah, they have new support, but who gives a shit? The new support is whatever. But yeah, we got Naturias. We have most of them, but we're missing a lot of Vernisylphs, and we're missing basically the entire extra deck. We have fuck all. We have one Naturia Beast, and that's it. So if we wanted to go into this, we'd have to absolutely gamble on getting Vernisylphs and extra deck monsters, which seems unreasonable. There is another one I also didn't save because I didn't really care. We do have Rescue Aces. So the thing is, like, we have 2 Hydrant, we have 3 Turbulence, and we basically have a 3 of every single one of their cards. So we are clear on these. Like, we could play this, but we need the monsters. We're missing, like, the level 4. We're missing the fucking plane or whatever the hell it is. We're missing the cards that actually makes us able to utilize these. Because with just Turbulence and Hydrant, we can't really do much. But it is a reasonable thing we can do. It can work. We just need all of the things. You know, I'm just spinning it like this. Please, for the love of all that is holy, if we can roll the Trap Trick Structure deck here, we're good. If we don't, a majority of those suck. Oh, please, God, come on. Give me the Trap Trick Structure, because that would be really good. Come on. It's a small chance compared to everything else. Oh, that's gonna be Etko, probably. Is it goes for the past 2? No, it's Etko. The problem is I need literally nothing from Etko. I think Etko is actually dead. I don't think there's a single thing in Eternity Code I need. Let's just get these fucking out of the way, because we don't need them. It doesn't matter what this is, they're all useless. Valiant Shark Lancer. Nice. It doesn't do shit. We got a Samhara, that's funny. Yeah. Who could have been shocked that Eternity Code wouldn't do anything? Who... Trias Hierarchy for Sale was Big Sword. Yeah, we got Big Sword. It sucks. Let's see if we can get some Rescue Aces. That is not a Rescue Ace. Hidden Armory is whatever. Mikanko. We got a Sacred Scroll, we got Contain, which we already have, Limiter Removal, and Mikanko Fire Dance, which is unfortunate. Hidden Armory again. Oh, we actually have a Negate, technically. I mean, this is technically a negate. It's a hand trap. We could play that. Okay. Oh, hey, we got Gizmek. Gizmek's playable. We can do funny things with Gizmek. Mikanko Kagura. Oh, we got an airlifter. That's good. We need one of those. A card trooper and another fire dance, which is unfortunate. Roland. We got another contain. We got the HQ. We got another airlifter. We got another hand trap. Also, Isolde's banned. Yo, fire attacker. Okay, and a 1-for-1. We didn't actually have that before. 1-for-1's nice. We got a purification dance. We got Exceed Reborn. We got that weird thing. We're also listening to fucking Persona Dance Baby. Oh, Hori. We got another sword Mikanko. That's unfortunate. You go. We got Pearly. We got Prep of Rights. We got another Rhoda. We got Durendal. Ooh, Plump. You can stop coping on Flame Swordsman because I'm never playing it. We got Mikankos. We got more limiter pools. We actually have a hand, like a set of hand traps now, which is nice. We got Plump. We are getting an unfortunate lack of... Okay. If we could play Infernoble, that'd be funny. The thing is, Isolde's banned. We can't do it. Like, there's no way. We got another fire attacker. That's pretty good. We got an Extinguish. Overlay region. That's terrible. That's funny. Another Rhoda. We got another airlifter, so we actually got a play set of that, which is nice. We got another HQ. We got another Hari. We're not getting any of the super rare ones. It's kind of annoying. Rhoda again. Another 1-for-1. Unfortunate. We already have that. Okay, another airlifter is unnecessary now, but I'll take it. Oh, we got a play set of 1-for-1. Like, what the fuck am I supposed to do with that? That's unfortunate. Like, look at that. That's depressing. On the good side, though, we did get 4 airlifter. Like, 4 airlifter is pretty good, because we do need that. And we got 2 ships, right? Yeah, like, the ship's okay. We can use that. We might be able to do something with that, like that. Alright, check in, confirm, 10. So for today's first duel, we're going up against Lardax on the almighty DDD. We do start with an airlifter here, and trust me, I had to read these cards a lot during this episode. We go for the emergency to summon the Turbulence in order to set 4 onto the board, as well as setting our Judgment from hand, and we do the traditional Rescue Ace 5-set pass, baby. Hopefully these 5 sets are enough. He does summon Fenrir here. We decide not to really fire off anything to start off, because we're not that afraid of Fenrir, we're more afraid of 7 Kepler. We do go ahead and we activate, I do have to double check which one it is, but I believe it is Contain, which is the negate. We go ahead and negate the Kepler just in case he doesn't have anything in hand to search, which he doesn't. He goes for the Swirl Slime, which I think is perfectly fine. He's going to Fusion Summon King Genghis, which we are just going to allow because by itself it doesn't do that much. We have access to Extinguish in order to pop a card if we feel that we need to, and he goes into Gilgamesh. We do decide to Judgment the Gilgamesh, knowing that that will start his entire combo as he goes for Dark Contract with the Swamp King, which is the only thing he can do, I presume. At this point, we are sitting ducks a little bit, though, because he is going to get King Beowulf, and Beowulf is actually really, really bad for us if it had more than 3,000 attack, which it doesn't. He is obviously going to go for the Fenrir attack here in order to activate its effect. We are going to go ahead and we are going to hit it with the fuck you, no fuck you move of not letting it be affected by anything. He goes into Machinex here, and we decide when Machinex is summoned, that is our time to make him explode, and he does. After that, he simply realizes that the game can't be won, knowing that we will outvalue him, and he scoops game 1. Nice to finally take a solid going first win here, but now we have to go second in Rescue Aces in this shitty version of it, and then I am shocked to see him let us go first. Again, we managed to use our Snake Eye card to summon Rescue Ace Hydrant. Hydrant, of course, searching us another monster, and in this case, we do have a bit of an issue, but we are still going to search Airlifter. Airlifter is going to bring out our Emergency. Emergency is going to go off, and we're going to sack the Hydrant, which probably isn't the right call, but we do decide to get Therion onto the board to get an extra negate, along with our set 4, pass. At this point, we should have probably just kept Hydrant on the field. Honestly, that would have done more effects for our trap cards, but I didn't think about it. He does hit us with Forbidden Chalice, stopping us from actually using our negate of the Therion, which I suppose is fine. He goes for the Dark Contract of the Gate to add 1. We go ahead and tag in the the Hydrant from the deck here, or for the graveyard, rather. He goes for the Copernicus, which I'm presuming him to need in order to search, and he's going to do just that. He sends the Necro Slime. We do actually have a Bestial in our hand, so we are going to get rid of the Necro Slime immediately to stop him from doing fusion combos. A Griffin is summoned, not much we can really do about that, and at this point he has to decide what to do, and he goes to Wave King Caesar. Caesar is annoying, so we're going to fire off Extinguish on it, and he is going to special summon all monsters that were destroyed this turn, which are basically none. At this point, we are sitting very comfortably still with Reinforce in our back row. As we go to the draw phase, we draw sets into everything. We just flip everything into attack position, and we go for the game, which he doesn't stop. We managed to take a win against a deck that we were struggling super hard against last week, which is actually quite nice. As you can see, I am... For game number 2 this week, we're once again playing against Mothman, who is on the almighty Pendulum Best deck, baby, and we're forced to go second, which we are going to learn is a very bad trend for this version of the Rescue Ace deck. He does manage to marginally pop off here using a bunch of spells and doing the whole spell counter shenanigans on a Servant of Endymion, but to our surprise, he actually doesn't really do much more than that. He manages to bring out the Endymion and get a spell counter on 2 cards, but that's just about it, honestly. Our hand isn't looking necessarily that great, and it becomes even worse when he flips open Metaverse doing the field spell to be able to not be able to use spell cards. Secret Village and Spellcasters? I have lost the name of that card. I believe that's it. And unfortunately, as you can see in the chat, he just apologizes because we immediately realized that there is nothing we can do without our spell cards, which was our one way of turning this game around. Unfortunately, we realized very quickly that we are completely screwed in this case, and we are just going to take the L unless we can open one very specific card right here, and that isn't it. Game number 2, we're going to side in a bunch of back row hate, as that is our best possible chance of doing anything. Even though we are going first, we're bringing in Pankratops just in case. We don't know if he has something like an Evenly or whatever he might have. Going first, on the other hand, though, we do manage to get both HQ and into the Therion King Regulus, which is pretty good. We're going to go for Hydrant to use the extra summon that we have in order to get to Airlifters. We can get to Emergency activating Summoning Turbulence and getting rid of, once again, Turbulence. Yeah, I haven't learned this, but we do set 4. We do manage to get ourselves another negate thanks to the Therion, and the only way we can do this is if we send Hydrant, because it's the only machine. We do tag out the Airlifter using one of our cards, though, which is the best thing we can do here. He goes for the blue boy. He is just going to start drawing a bunch of cards, and to be honest, we're not super terrified of him drawing cards. We do have enough destruction to kind of stop him from really popping off. He draws a bunch of cards, does a bunch of things. He goes for the Lightning Storm, which is unfortunate. We're going to have to pop our negate here. He is going to set a card, activate the Magister of Endymion in the scale, and pass turn back to us. We're going to destroy that Torrential Tribute, which could have been an absolute problem, and he scoops up, and we go to game number 3. We are at least still in the game at this point, which I am surprised about during the entire stream, that we're managing to do something with a deck that is this incomplete, but it is doing something. Which, you know what? I underestimated the Rescue Aces, I'll be honest. We go to game number 3, and unfortunately we're forced to going second again, and our hand is not marvelous. He only sets 2, though, so we do still have a chance here, but unfortunately, we have no way of starting at all. We do go ahead and we dump ourselves an Airlifter to the graveyard in order to bring it back to our hand using one of the spells. We do attempt to activate it, but unfortunately, we hit the wrong face down, but we can still get into Turbulence here, which is crazy. Turbulence just needs to banish 2 cards from the graveyard. We do go ahead and we get the Hydrant here, and we are going to sack off the Turbulence because I am crazy enough to try and do that. Unfortunately, it wouldn't have mattered because he is holding Raigeki. Raigeki into Red Ice Fusion, and as you would guess, we still do not have an out for Dragoon. We don't have a way to stop Dragoon from being summoned. We can't deal with Dragoon when he's on the field, and if we had drawn the Turbulence, we might have been able to, but alas, we take a loss. For game number 3, we're going up against allegedly Michael once again, who is on probably the coolest sealed-only deck I have seen in an incredibly long time. He is playing Dark World Earthbound Immortals, or Darkbound Immortals, or whatever you want to call them. This deck is absolutely crazy when you get to watch it, and if you haven't been to one of the streams yet, I highly suggest it, because I do take the chance to watch this deck any chance that I get. It's terrifying, especially going first. The Harmonic Synchrofusion is an incredibly strong card that is just value generation for this deck. It's crazy. I wish I could tag along with everything that's currently happening on field, but obviously I could not. So I'm just going to let you watch it for yourself. He basically ends on a Baron, a tag out, and a way to fuse into even more cards, and especially because he can set up Crimson Gaia to go even further beyond. Special summoning one for free, and then just managing to fuse and go around once again and just do essentially whatever he wants. He ends on 2 negates together with a Grapha, so it's basically 3 negates and a tag out. We have one chance here. That chance is to get Dragoon on the board. If we can stick Dragoon, we might be able to do this. So I decide, you know what, we're going all out. Obviously, this is being negated, so we're going to sack our entire hand except for the Dark Magician, which we need to have in hand to summon a Dragoon, and we are just going to pop things. We have to pop the 2 negates here because they are the most scary ones, and unfortunately, we just don't have enough damage to really deal with the board. There's honestly not much more we can do about this because we need to stop every single negate on the board from popping off. It's a tragedy. Unfortunately for us, Dragoon on itself is not going to be enough against the massive value generation that this deck actually is, and he is just going to run over us. Going first into this matchup should help a lot, so hopefully we can stop his Dark World shenanigans, but even then, it's a risky bet. We do get a Fenrir to start off here to pull ourselves another Fenrir. We're going to go for the 1-for-1 to get ourselves the Hydrant. Hydrant is going to search the Airlifter. Airlifter is going to be summoned, and we're going to search Emergency. Emergency is going to be used, and we are going to sack the Airlifter, this time doing it correctly in order to set 4 with Hydrant and Fenrir on the board, as well as setting our Judgment and hoping for the best. This is about as good of a sealed-only deck as we can probably have at this point, considering the circumstances, so I should have probably gone into these earlier. Now, what is he pausing? He's going to call by the Grave the Fenrir in order to negate Fenrir's effect here, which is respectable. There's not much we can do. Mothman is unfortunately going to miss and have to add himself, or draw a card and discard one. He does discard a card. We do the same, because we don't really care about the second turbines in hand. He's going to get a free card, and we don't activate Fenrir. Gates of the Dark World is going to be activated. He is going to summon the special summoning guy, and we are going to choose to negate it to not let him start the Earthbound combo. He has an Assault Synchron, which I find to be very interesting, so I'm quite unsure on what he's going to go into here, and he decides to go into the Tag Out Man. I decide to hit it with a Solemn Judgment immediately. He goes for the Grapha, which I can't really do much about, but we decide to protect the Turbulence anyway, just in case. With our board now massive looking, we do decide to use the effect of, nothing. Haha, I lied. We're going Dragoon. Dragoon, baby! Woo! Also, I forgot he can't be destroyed because there's a field spell. But the problem here is he's actually negated, so we just have to kind of punch face with everything we got. We can't get rid of it because it's protected by the field spell, so we're just going to reset the negate. We're going to tag out and set 2 more cards from the deck, and we're just going to pass back, hoping that he, with 2 cards, can beat 4 interactions. Most likely, that will not be the case. He goes for the Mothman. It does discard the Snow to special the Mothman and draw a card. He's going to activate the Snow. We're just going to banish the annoying card off of the field. And he's going to realize very quickly that there is not much he can do here, given that we are just going to negate the Fusion spell whenever he lands it. He discards 1 to draw 1. When again, he gets a Danger Nessie. Danger Nessie misses, allowing him to draw any danger from the deck. He draws the Jackalope. Jackalope is going to be activated, and he's then going to chain the spell card, which I'm going to negate, and we take the win. For game number 3, once again, we unfortunately have to go second, which for this deck is a disaster. He goes for the Mothman into Crimson Gaia finding him the Vision Resonator. He's going to activate Nessie and fail the Nessie, and then draw himself Jackalope. Surprising nobody, he's going for the Jackalope, unfortunately discarding the Harmonic Synchrofusion, but summoning Jackalope in its stead, drawing a card. He has a massive big brain moment for a while, because let's be honest, his deck has 15 million things it needs to do, so I can't even blame him. He goes for the Vision Resonator. Vision Resonator and Mothman is going to create the whatever on earth that thing thing. Yeah, Muddy Mud Dragon, that's it. I keep forgetting the name of it. I had it written down. He goes for the big Grapha, but unfortunately our hand is not great. We attempt to go for the field spell here. The field spell is obviously going to be Giga negated, and he's just going to discard the Sneck. We're going to hit the Sneck to make sure he doesn't get anything. We're going to go for the Hydrant. Hydrant is going to search his Airlifter because it's the only thing we can really do to hope to have a next turn. Unfortunately for us, that is not really going to matter because Crimson Gaia is going to generate him infinite value by just getting Resonators back. He's going to get a free special summon. He's going to pop off using the cards, and there isn't really much we can do. We have a Reinforce that we can use, but with Harmonic Synchrofusion coming back, there's very little we can do. We can attempt to save our little 1-star man here, but as you could probably guess, it's not gonna do all that much. Unfortunately, if we had a way to actually start our combo in our hand in this game, we probably would have been able to take it. But unfortunately, any card that we activate is going to get negated by Grapha, and Grapha is going to single-handedly punch us in the face for another loss. And for our last game today, we're going up against J-Chip, who somehow managed to go 1 and 2 up in this point with basically full power Fire Kings at this point. Fire Kings is an incredibly scary deck for us, as he does pop off and do the Fire King shenanigans. Everybody knows what this is, right? You've seen it at this point. He does a bunch of Garunix looping, he gets the bird killed, he gets Arvada into the graveyard, he does the song and dance. We, on our hand, we do get a Fenrir here, which is probably the best possible card we can get, and unfortunately he has another Garunix. We do go ahead and banish the first one, which he tags out into another Garunix, which is just unfortunate. His board builds up to a massive degree and he pops our cards, but at this point we should actually be able to do stuff. We go ahead and we grab ourselves the field spell to grab ourselves a Therion. We're going to normal summon the Airlifter. Airlifter's going to come out. We're going to tag in for Emergency. We're going to go ahead and we're going to destroy the Arvada before we really do anything, because we do need this monster negate to hit. Or a monster effect, I should say. We go for the Turbulence. He's going to activate Sanctuary here, and I forgot Sanctuary was a thing, which is unfortunate, but he does get some cards. Fortunately for us, we do have Rescue, but unfortunately he has another negate on the board, so we can't even let Rescue pop off. At this point, we can activate Turbulence, so we can simply attempt to destroy a card. We're going to destroy the Sanctuary, because we don't really like it having there. Destroying the field spell would not have done anything, because it is protected by Sanctuary. At this point, as you can probably guess, he is going to absolutely run over us, because that's what Fire Kings do these days. Going first once again, our hand is okay. We do get the Emergency here, so we are going to fire it immediately and get ourselves a Turbulence, sack a bunch of shit, activate the Turbulence, and actually get to set 4 this time, which is great. We go for the field spell just to gain a bit of a buff, as well as a Solemn Judgment, passing the turn to J-Chip and hoping for the best. We are going to tag in and destroy the same card here, just to kind of have it sitting in the graveyard. He is going to go for the Ponix, which we are going to choose to negate, hoping he doesn't have anything in the hand, which he apparently doesn't, which is great. We set ourselves the negate once again here. We are going to turn our Turbulence into attack mode, and we are going to destroy the bird, unfortunately having to trigger the bird, but there's not much we can do about that. On his turn, he gets the bird back. He is once again going to summon a card. He's going to go for the Barong, and he's going to go Torrential Tribute, which we are going to Solemn because it's scary as hell. He goes with the Fire King Skyburn, which we unfortunately can't really do anything about, so we decide to let it go. He's going to go for the Ponix. Ponix is going to get himself the Fire King Sanctuary, which we are going to Solemn because we're crazy. We draw Rescue, possibly the best card in the deck at this point, as we get ourselves back into Turbulence to be able to set a bunch of cards once more. We activate the Turbulence, setting 2 cards from deck and just going to town once more, shuffling 4 cards back in to draw 1 just to get another Emergency, which is a little bit weird. We go for Extinguish in order to pop the card on the board. We go for the Emergency, but unfortunately we get hit with an Ash, which would have been game right then and there. We punch for another massive amount of damage. We set ourselves the negate once more and pass back to J-Chip, hoping that he cannot beat the set 5 pass. Goes for Ponix once again. We are going to negate the Ponix once more because we know it's this card starts absolutely everything. He simply passes the turn to us, and we actually take a game win against J-Chip. Holy crap. If you have not noticed a very odd pattern in this episode is the fact that going first, we tend to win the game. Going second, we tend to lose the game. And unfortunately, we once again have to go second. Fortunately for us, his hand is not that great, actually. Unfortunately for us, the one way we had of doing anything really here was negated by an Infinite Impermanence. We go into Relinquished Anima just to beat over everything, and unfortunately kind of have to do that. Avada's going to come back, but this is going to stop the Garunix from resurrecting once more, which is at the very least something. Unfortunately for us, he actually has the Ponix, and we have a 0 attack minion on the board, and that's all we've got. And he also has the field spell now. You can probably guess that we are going to get our absolute butt stomped in, and there is nothing we can do about it because all of our cards require a Rescue Ace. Unfortunately for us, this is a 1-3 week, but at the very least, the deck performed very well. Man, that's weird. Like, legitimately, not even as a funny haha joke, like, Rescue Ace kinda does stuff just by itself, as we saw. If I literally had any way of interacting with the board when going second, I had a really good chance of winning the game. The problem is there's a lot of cards that don't do anything that I just kind of have to carry because there's nothing to fill them. So if I can find the remaining Rescue Ace cards, like the few monsters that I'm missing, this could get really good. I also need obvious hand traps, you know, Ash Blossom, fucking, the droll unlock at this point. Like, anything. Like, there needs to be some sort of assistance to the core itself, because the actual Rescue Ace core does do stuff, which is surprising. But I guess that's for next week. I guess I could try and go into Rarity Collection and get some of these cards and actually try and, like, build around this. My extra deck is absolute trash at this point, but I'm never summoning anything from it anyway, so it doesn't really matter that much. 1 and 3, I'm not that upset about it. It performed better than I expected a pile of shit to do. Next week, same time, same place. Wah! Do you want to say hi, kitty? Is that what you're doing? You know what? Fine. Come here. You get to say hi. What do you have to say to them, huh? What do you have to say to them? If you bite that cable, I will be so mad. You know, you're camera shy? Is that what it is? This is how she sleeps, by the way. She just goes. Yeah. You're gonna... Do not do it. Don't do it. That's right. I'm looking at you. And so is chat. Chat's also having a look at you. You tired? You sleepy kitty? You have so much floof. Yeah.